Alright, what is going on, everybody? Quancredible here with Chapter 8 of the Four Nights of the Apocalypse. And now, this chapter, honestly, overall, was probably one of the more, out of all the chapters so far, this is probably like one of the least exciting ones.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good lord.
But there were still some really interesting tidbits in this one. Like, there's a couple things that definitely really stand out. The chapter starts with Donnie, Sin and Dolores, with as well as some other fairies, running to the gorge to try to save Percival. And right off the bat, there's something interesting that Sin says, saying oh, if something happens to Percival, he's the one that's going to be in trouble. And it's really weird because this makes me believe that Sin is definitely under someone. I mean, he mentioned something about learning the prophecy from somebody else, but it definitely makes me feel like he is a subordinate to someone else. Like he's working for someone. It might seem really small right now, but it could have some bigger implications in the future. In side theory, I feel like Sin is like a girl. I know I said him a while ago, but if you take Yoruichi from Bleach or Nero from Black Clover, I'm going that route, and I think that it's a girl. But on to the next scene, we get Percival waking up from being not knocked out by Nansens, and essentially Nansens is shocked that Percival was able to wake up. I mean, I could probably attribute Percival's natural resistance to drugs, or kind of his weird take on drugs, just to him living up on God's finger, or it could be something weird with Percival's biology. But then again, I'm one of those people who I want Percival to just be a regular human. So I hope it's just Percival is just weird in his own way and not some different race or species. But it's also in this moment that we find out something very, very interesting about Percival. Nansens had apparently taken all of his clothes and burned them except for his cloak and his helmet, and he subtly notes that they are rare magic items, which is very interesting because if you remember from the original Seven Deadly Sins, it was rare magical items help you channel magic. They basically allow you to use abilities that are much higher. They basically allow you to use abilities that are much stronger than what you are naturally capable of, outside of if you're a mage such as Merlin. But even Merlin found usage out of her orb. I think the orb of Aldine or something like that. I'll find the name of it later. But basically, magical items help you use your magic better. So the fact that Percival already has two could mean a lot for the future of the series. We then get this absolutely ridiculous moment of Nansens, I guess, injecting his drug into Percival. And the whole thing with this guy is basically, for some unknown reason, he's trying to develop this drug. We don't really know what it is. Kind of from how he's talking about it in the chapter, it seems like something that accelerates growth in animals and plants or living things to some degree. But I'm not exactly for sure why he wants to do this. He does make a note of it at the end that he's trying to save the gorge, but I'm not sure from what or because of what or for what reason. I have some predictions about that, but I'll get to that when we get to that part of the chapter. But yeah, it makes Percival's hair even more ridiculous. It goes from here to way out here. I know you guys can't see all the way out there, but it gets dumb. And I already hated Percival's hair. If any of you seen my initial first chapter review of Four Nights of Apocalypse, I hate Percival's hair. I don't like it. I think he looks so stupid. His helmet needs to always stay on, and now it just looks even dumber. So hopefully this is not permanent, because this would just be horrible. We also get this odd personality trait of Nansens, that whenever he gets really excited, he bites his lip until it bleeds, which is, I guess, this kind of rules out the whole vampire thing that a lot of people, or maybe not a lot of people, that I myself thought, because I was kind of hoping that he might be a vampire or something, because that would be kind of different. But no, he's just weird. He's just weird. So that's all that that was. But when Percival tells me that he shouldn't do that, he says yeah, his sister says the same thing, and it flashes over to Dolores. And then even when they're running into the gorge and getting attacked, Donnie, Sin, and Dolores, along with a bunch of other fairies, when they're bad mouthing Nansens about how he must be a real villain and they need to beat him, she gets really upset about them getting the wrong idea about him. Which, again, I feel like this is a common thing that people will think. But obviously there is some connection between Dolores and Nansens. Now, from my own personal theory, I believe that they are siblings, not necessarily blood siblings, but I think it could be something similar to Matrona's case, because I still believe that Dolores is the same Dolores that Diane knew from a long time ago. It said that she died out on a mission, but I believe that instead of dying, like I said, it was something similar to Matrona, where they probably thought she died, but Dolores got saved more than likely by some type of alchemist or someone someone who dealt with natural herbal medicines. Like I believe it was probably something along those lines, and those people could have been Nansen's parents. So basically, I kind of see it that way. I kind of see it as potentially, say, Nansen's parents could have been the ones to save Dolores, and then Dolores stayed with them, so her and Nansen just grew up together, giving them that kind of like brother-sister relationship. That's kind of my theory on it personally. I would love to know what you guys think their possible connection could be in the comments if you have something different. I feel like this would make a lot of sense considering kind of how their characters are going. I know there's a lot of people that still believe that this is probably King and Diane's daughter. I would love to hear you guys' reasons on that. But that's, like I said, that's just what I think. But yeah, but then it flashes over back to Percival and Nansen, and he breaks out of his ropes or whatever. Cause I mean I didn't really think ropes were gonna hold Percival for any degree of like time, especially since they appear to be very normal. And he gets his cloak and his helmet that does not fit on his head, and basically Nansen is trying to like subdue him so he can try out his new mixture of his drug on him, whereas Percival's like, I got other stuff to do, but hey, if you tell me what's going on, I can help you. And it's really funny that Percival is offering help to this guy who, I mean, granted, we found out that Nansen isn't necessarily a bad guy since he didn't really kidnap a fairy. The fairy kind of just barged in and attacked him, so then he was like defending himself. So we found out Nansen's not really a bad dude, but at the same time, I think helping people with drugs is probably not something you want to do on a regular basis, so it's just odd that he offers to help him regardless. But then we do get this small square off between Percival and Nansen. The Nansen, he got moves a little bit. He's clearly not on Percival's level at all to any capacity, but he definitely has a little bit of moves. It looks like I don't know if he like made some type of drug or potion to coat his blades, or if his magic potentially is or if his magic can copy effects of plants that he has or something. Because like he like says the names of plants, and then it's like aura coats his swords or blades or whatever, and Percival is like, is this magic? So it makes me think that it is magic, or maybe some type of magic mixed with alchemy, which could be really cool. Honestly, seeing this kind of makes me hope that Nansen's will join Percival's group, just because like I feel like Percival's group is going to need a healer type person, or someone who can fix people to some degree. Just because like the original seven deadly sins, they had Elizabeth was able to heal people with her goddess powers, like, or with her goddess magic, or like whatever you want to call it. Whereas like this group, probably I can't think of anybody who will be able to heal people. I mean, maybe Tristan in the future, but like who knows how long it'll be till we see him, and who knows if he'll even specialize in anything like that. So I feel like Nansen's would be a good person to pick up for their group early on if they get to keep him. But basically after their exchange or their small fight, Percival like trips and falls, and his helmet like flies off. Now initially I thought this was magic, but then when I really started to think about it, his hair just doesn't fit in his helmet, and he says it earlier. So like since there's so much hair trying to fit his helmet, it pops off of his head and like smacks Nansen in the face into his table, and like shoots his like vial that he was working on up. It was a real cartoony Looney Tunes moment that was kind of funny once I really thought about it. And basically Percival was like, even if I leave, you're going to test this on someone else, so I'll just test it instead. And then he drinks it and passes out. And yeah, so basically what we found out is that Nansen is trying to develop a drug to save the gorge from something. I'm not for sure what it could be. It could be just naturally how the plants and animals are, because I know the fairies were saying that this was the work of Nansen's, but I don't really think it was, just by how Dolores was acting. It could have been something that happened that he's trying to fix, but he's getting a bad rep because they probably see him doing stuff to the plants and animals, and they're acting this way. So it's probably just a big misunderstanding on his part. Now obviously I don't think Percival's going to die. What I kind of hope for this potion is, I mean, there's the obvious hope that it just works out and everything's fine and they can go on about their day, but I kind of hope this potion might do something extra for Percival, like maybe give him a small awakening, or just give him something, some type of ability or power. I think that would be kind of cool. I do want to know if you guys think that this potion will necessarily do anything for him, as well as I also want to know what you guys think the possibility of Nansen's joining like Percival's group is. I kind of am curious on what you guys' odds are on that. As of right now, I don't really think he's related to any of the, previous characters from the original series. It doesn't really seem like it to me, nor do I think he's going to be a member of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse at all. Like in terms of like the actual Four Knights, like if he joins Percival's group, that's side, or that's like secondary, but like I don't think he's one of the Knights of Prophecy by any means. If you guys do, like I said, let me know that down below as well. Outside of that, I really felt like this chapter was just okay. Like it was an okay chapter in itself. I'd give it like a 6, just because, and we got some cool character stuff for the new characters that we got introduced to. The story progressed a bit, so it was a decent chapter. I give it like a 6. Honestly, it was a solid 6. But yeah, like I said, let me know how you guys feel about the chapter down below and all of that stuff earlier. Make sure you guys like the video, as well as subscribe to the channel for more Four Knights of the Apocalypse content. And aside from that, I have nothing else for you guys, so I will see you all in my next video. Enjoy the rest of you guys' day.